It's the JT Cho Show!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another edition of the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. This is episode 72. Still here. It is currently April 6th, Tuesday. I wanted to do a special post stand-up comedy for the first time of 2021. I wanted to do a post podcast about it. I was talking with my boy Cut, who also wanted to be on it. I'm your host, whose hair looks kind of like Conan O'Brien's this week. But we're gonna be bringing in Cut. We're gonna be talking about sports. We're not gonna be discussing like 2 months and lengths of jokes because like jokes have to be like developed, and I'm still young, and maybe I want to use this. Like maybe this one joke that was really fire, I can save. We'll figure it out. But I'm gonna bring my boy Cut in to start this podcast. So stick around. Like I was saying, everybody, we've got Trevor fucking Lawrence. Oh, not anymore. His hair was different. Your camera's facing the wrong way. You just have to do the thing.
Oh, you want me to flip it?
Well, I mean, like it's like sideways right meow.
Give me a sec.
Like looks like you're okay. And then now flip it to see if it auto. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Much better. Much better.
Yeah, you're looking like this to everybody who is watching.
Technical difficulties.
How you doing this Tuesday?
I'm doing all right. I was a little hungover this AM, but you know.
Yeah, well, I had to go off at really early in the morning.
Yeah, it sounded like a lot of fun. What'd you get, like 5 hours of sleep, if that?
3.5.
Oh man, that sounds amazing.
And then I took, I almost had to help somebody load stuff, so I didn't shower yet, and I didn't want to sleep in my bed because then I'd have to wash my sheets. So I just took an hour nap on the couch before my thing tonight. But
okay.
Yeah, pretty tired, but I'm going to be cruising until 6 in the morning if if you're up for it.
I mean, I'll be up for a minute. I got to do a little bit of laundry and prep for this trip.
I mean, I can still play while you're prepping, but yeah, this is post my first stand-up comedy show.
How'd that feel?
So let me kind of go.
I feel like it's almost like you're a widower, and it was like your first day out at the dating scene. You did some speed dating.
No, it was, I'll kind of explain the process of thought. So last night, let's give a little bit of backstory. Last night, I found out Battle Creek, it's called JB Whiskey's. It had open mic night, 45 minutes from my house. And I was like, hey, this is perfect. I called a couple people. Nobody really gave me a clear answer. And then I finally hit up the dude who runs it. And I said, hey, sorry to bother you. I know it might be late. Asked, and he's like, hey, we've had some people drop. We'll definitely add you to the lineup. So I was going to bed last night after playing video games with Cut. We played a 5-game 2K series.
I crushed him.
It was tied after, best of 5. It was tied after 2, and then he rage quit it. No, his internet went out, so he.
Yeah, my internet. I'm a broke boy. My internet died on me mid game.
It's routine maintenance. I mean, that's what happens when a 5-point swing happens and you just pull that route. No, he even got his brother.
It wasn't even halftime.
No, it wasn't. It was just a 5-point swing.
Yeah.
Even got his brother and his dad in on it. It was quite the ruse.
Yeah, everybody came in. They're like, the fuck's up with the internet? I was like, I don't know. I was playing.
And I was like, man, dude, family of actors. So, we drinky poos. We had some drinky poos, talking about a smack. Ended up finishing with one last game of Apex, roughly about 5 o'clock in the morning.
We played all right too.
We took second.
Yeah,
and to be frankly honest, I had an important phone call to make at 10 o'clock. That went fine, but my alarm went off at 40, and I was just like, what is life right now?
Oh, how was that important phone call?
Um, I'll just say it. I basically asked the contingencies of pay, and they said due to my lack of inexperience, I wouldn't be starting out at what I valued as pay. I can tell you later. And I said, well, listen, I'm going to sound arrogant and I apologize, but I have a master's degree. I don't have an inexperience of talking on the cell phone or on the phone altogether.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're not offering me what I'm asking for, I just have to let you know respectfully that it's not worth my time. And
Yeah.
I explained to him, like, that's me taking more than a $7 pay cut. And that's not Gucci with my
Not worth it.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I ended up, she said, thanks for being completely honest. I was like, that's all I am, ma'am. So, that got over with. And, my Faja drove into town. And let me tell you about golf today, man. So chugged some coffee. I should have ate. I was so hungry after the course. I started the first 4 holes. It was a par 4, par 4, par 4, par 3, par 4, par 4. So I ended up shooting a 4, 4, 4, 4. So I had 16 after 4 holes. I'm sitting here kind of going, oh shit, dude, this is cooking. This unbelievable. I sent a text to Cut, sent a text
I
to
saw
Earl,
it. It was a great first 4 holes.
and I was like, man, dude, I'm
Can't ask for much better.
I'm
1
first
over
hole
through 4 is impressive.
First hole I hit a pitching on the pitching from about 75 yards right on the green, 2 putted for par. The second hole, I do this new thing now. I don't know if you've ever tried it, and I would highly recommend it. I saw this video on, we follow those golf videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
So you're roughly 5 to 10 feet sometimes, if not, right around that range off the green. And sometimes you hit your sand or your pitching or your lob, but you underhit it or you overhit it and you make that stupid mistake mentally. And you basically waste a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like the pins in the middle of the hole and you chip it 3 feet in front of you. You were better off putting it on the fairway when you never want to do that. You pull out a 9 or an 8 iron, you choke up on it and you give it nice little whack, not even hard. That club power drives the ball, pushes it.
You get a lot of roll on it, little bump and run action.
Little bump and run, and that's how I approached every single green I could today. Working out fantastic.
I've been doing that a lot more, but I'm also working on those high loft chip shots too. So I've just been practicing the shit out of those ones. It's not a very high percentage play, but it's pretty impressive when you can actually get them to fucking land like that.
So I took 2 years to really break down my drive. Fantastic. My chipping is still in the works. My iron game's gonna have to be in the works because I got new clubs. But hole 5 comes. It's a par 5. I hit a shot that had an awkward angle, and then I hit it into some rough. And then the third shot, I hit a tree, and the ball bounced right back to me. So,
oh no.
So I ended up taking a snowman, and I was like, mentally, well, I had a great 3 pars today. I ended up getting triple bogey, double bogey, bogey, double bogey, bogey to finish out the day. I think that's right. But I finished with a 46. I was on course to have like a 40 today. But it's just one of those things where I'm not going to say one bad hole ruined my whole mentality, but that fucking snowman, dude.
Yeah, it's tough to let those ones go too. Cause I told you that the best game of golf I ever played, I ended up 2 under through 4. And then on 5, I ended up with a big old fucking 8-banger, big old fucking snowman. And it's like, wow, there goes the whole round. But like, I still ended up with like a career best for myself. I mean, I was 16 over, which is pretty good for me.
And I thought I was in what athletes called the zone. If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, the zone. But
good shout out.
It was because on hole 4, I bumped and run it, and it rolled around the hole and then came out the backside, and it was like a
little lip out,
like real close, 3 inches, like one-handed tapper in. But I was like, I'm in the fucking zone. And then that par 5 came up, and where the ball landed, it was just, I should have hit a safer shot. I should have just chipped around the trees, but I ended up screwing myself. So anywho, I get done with golf. It's around 1:00. And by the way, I wake up at 9:40 saying, what is life? Drinky poos, lack of sleep, 3 hours. And I was like, I wake up to my text, and it's like, hey, we got a spot for you. And I was like, oh shit, hell yeah. So I dropped my lawnmower off at 2, and then
Getting some work done on it.
yeah, and then I was like, I need a nap. Yeah, it's not starting. I was on my very last cut last year, and I backed it out of the trailer. Out of the barn, and I started it. It started fine. I got off of it to close the barn doors so I can mow around it, and it turned off,
Mhm.
never turned back on. And I was like, well, that sounds like a next year problem, and I just pushed it right back into the barn. So that the guy there, he was like, "What's wrong with it?" And I was like, I told him that exact same story, and he just gave me that look like, "You're a lazy piece of shit." But I mean, whatever. I'm not engine like I
Yeah,
know.
you're not
Yeah,
mechanically
I can
savvy.
change my oil, I can change spark plugs, I can look at wiring, but beyond that, I'm a dum dum.
Mhm. Yeah.
So anyways, I'm pretty tired physically, and we ended up walking 4 miles, with your smartwatches.
Yeah,
Um,
the golf day.
yeah, me and my dad, we walk 9.
Mhm.
Um, and so I was like, I need a nap, but I also need to start thinking about what set am I going to do? Like I've been writing fresh material with the help of Cut. We talk about it all the time. I've been writing fresh material, but I was looking through some of it, and I was like, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. And I started to panic a little bit. But then I got to a couple paragraphs where I was like, let's redo this one. This one's good. This one's good. And what's been helping me is watching professional comedians do 5-minute sets on like Conan O'Brien show, or they have 5 minutes and they always tell really good jokes in 5 minutes. And like you said last time, you got to hit your pauses, you got to stop rushing. But so
Yeah, you got to wait for the laughter to die down a little bit. I think that's your biggest issue right now because you weren't even that bad, but there were a couple of times where you were talking over the people laughing.
yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
but I think that's just something that's going to come with
It's
doing it more often.
tunnel. Half of
I
it
think the
is,
more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. Because I do understand the tunnel vision, and it's hard to like hear the laughter because you get like that. It's almost like you have a ringing in your ears, and all you hear is your thoughts.
yeah. So I'm not blaming the light. I take my hour nap. I wake up, have some coffee, have some water. Um, I go to my bathroom and I practice in front of the mirror with a timer, over and over and over, rewording. Took me about an hour to really polish what I wanted to do, and it was about 4:40 was right around what I was hitting. Um, so driving to the club, my hands have never been fucking sweatier. And I'm my
Getting
my
real
room
nervous.
my roommate Aaron, he's like, I want to go, and Earl was like, I'm coming too, and he met me down there.
Fuck yeah.
And but the whole way, like, it's only a 45-minute drive, and it went fast, and I was like, man, my hands are so fucking sweaty. Introduce myself. They're like, nice to meet you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
After the first guy started, and he wasn't bad. I'm not saying like I was the greatest. No, I'm just saying like once I saw the first person go, I realized you're gonna be okay. Like
Yeah.
I always kind of work myself up, but once the host started
Mm-hmm.
and he starts talking and people are laughing and people were there to laugh at JB Whiskies and Battle Creek open
Yeah, I
mic
mean
night
that's why people go
Tuesday.
to the open mic nights. They don't go to critique people. They go to have a good time.
Yeah. So I go up there. I instantly, I will say, I'll say this joke. For sanitation purposes, they have mic covers that go over the,
That was a pretty funny one. Yeah.
yeah. And I've never seen that. So, so I threw that in there just right off, and I got a few chuckles right off the rip. And I was like, okay. But like you did say, people were laughing, and I just talk over that because
You could hear in the video too because you'd be talking your normal thing and then like the laughter would start and your voice you'd get louder
yeah.
trying to like talk over them and it was kind of funny because like I know that's something that you're trying to work on but like I said before that's definitely something that's going to come with like more repetition and
I
the
get
more stage
so
time you have
scared
the easier it's going to be.
like I need to I need to handle it a little bit better. It's just because like I'm always in my head like, what if it bombs? What if it bombs? So I'm just like, I gotta get to the next one. I gotta get to the next one. And then like, so they're a lot nicer at this club too. I've been to, I understand it. I understand 100%. You've got 10 people, you got 1 hour, you got open mic night. You got to stick to your 5 minutes. But everyone was so nice. Like the one light that the comedy club that I did before, you can hardly see the fucking thing. And but the guy who he'll give you a flash of light. He'll be like, hey, 1 minute, he'll flash this and like, hey, perfect. I was hitting my last joke right as he said that. So I sort of panicked. And that last joke about bananas. That's the only
Yeah. You ran through that one a little
that's
quick.
the only thing that I could think of to eat up like 30. Like I was just like, and then I was just like, I can't just get done. So next time I just need to like backfill just a little bit more just in case my timing is a little quicker.
Yeah. I think
But-
that was a good transition too from the apple one into the banana one. I think that was a good
Exactly.
transition. I think the banana one would be better if you like Joe Rogan did a little bit. Like if you had like the technical terms for the old bananas or whatever.
Yeah, do some more
I
research
think
on
that
the
would,
bananas.
yeah, exactly. Like
Well-
if you seemed a little more knowledgeable about it instead of just being like, oh yeah, these old bananas, you know?
Oh yeah, I totally like because I was like, oh shit, banana joke, and then I was like, oh shit, I forgot half the shit I typed about it. So that's why I was kind of like
Yeah.
stammering through like, oh, he ruined the soil, and people are like, I don't fucking get this guy, and then
What the
you know,
fuck
and then
is he saying?
I hit that punchline, and then I was just like, look, I wrote that whole joke just so I could say that I know it's fucking terrible, and then they were like, oh yeah, dude, it was fucking
Yeah.
terrible, and I was like, you got
Yeah.
it. But overall, like, I don't post this on YouTube because again, I love feedback from my friends. What's your
I'll never lie to you.
overall-
I think that was the best one that you've sent me. I know you've only sent me, I think this is the third one you've sent me,
Yeah.
but it's definitely the best one. Like I
Bless
liked your material. I liked your material from the last one. I think the last you were slower in this one for sure, which was good. Like you slowed it down a little bit. You did start towards the end of it. It was almost like you were ramping up throughout the whole thing. Like you started off pretty slow, and then you kept ramping up and up because and they were laughing at your jokes too. Like they were laughing, but like you
Yeah.
kept like you'd talk over them, and then like you'd get into your like little Taylor speed talking, like how you tell your stories. You're always like quick and
Yeah.
what was the one you said a couple times.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but that was a bit of a killer. But I'm sure that's just like forgetting
that one was the one about writing to different people in the
Oh,
areas
yeah,
and then how
yeah,
she would
yeah.
describe herself. So that's what
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just again repetition, getting
Mhm.
better.
Getting more stage time, I think, is your only weakness right now. I think the more often you're up on stage, the easier the shit's gonna be for you.
Well, yeah, this one's close, and there's
Because like you said, it's hard for you to like hear the laughter while you're up there because the tunnel vision, and I think the tunnel vision is going to slowly fade away the more time you spend on stage.
definitely. It's
I saw some old footage of Rogan when he was super young, and he was talking about it was one of his jokes. He's like, "Oh, you ever say something out loud in front of your girl that you shouldn't have said, that like you normally would keep in your head?" And he's like, he was on the couch watching some commercial, and Madonna was on TV, and he was sitting there looking at her, and she was like pretending to be a cat, and she like went up to this bowl of milk and started licking out of it. She had like the ears on. She'd look up at the camera all sexy, and out loud he goes, "Yeah, girl." And this girl just like looked at him, and she's like, "If it was between me or Madonna, who would you pick?" And he's like, and I thought I was talking to my head, but out loud I said, "I'd fuck Madonna on your parents' dinner table during dinner." I think that's pretty funny because he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud."
Yeah, dude, that's Joe Rogan's so solid though.
He is. It was like young Rogan too. It was weird to see because he was like all skinny and he had hair, and I was like, wow, it doesn't even look like him. Like you could hear it in his voice, but it was definitely young fucking Rogan.
Yeah, he always, whenever you listen to his podcast, he always people always roast him for it. Like back when you had hair.
Yeah. I wonder what his hair would look like now if he grew it out. Is he like actually balding, or is he just not like his hair?
I think he just let it go, and I think he's like, I don't know. I mean, he should do it for charity. Grow his hair out for a month.
He should donate it.
No, not even donate it. Just like every day you don't cut your hair, some company donates some amount of money to somebody.
I'd throw $1 in for every day he didn't shave his hair.
Yeah, just to see like what he looked like.
Because I mean, fuck it. What's worse comes to worse. He's not gonna go a whole year, dude. So I mean, the most I'm gonna spend is $100.
We can start calling him Joe Friar Tuck Rogan, dog, if it's really bad, you know. But I mean, I've shared it with you, a couple other close friends, and they're like, dude, that apple bit was great.
Yeah, no, the apple bit's solid. I really do like the apple bit.
Yeah. And those, by the way,
I have a little bit to add on one of them, and I'll talk to you about it off the podcast. Yeah. But I have a pretty good idea for you, and I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, and then after I went, I was just there to enjoy it. And, Earl was like, hey, man, you're really good, for not doing it for so long. I was like, thanks, man. Drove home and here we are. And I had so much fun doing it. I'm definitely going to try to be there every single Tuesday I can be. I explained my situation. The guy's like, that's cool. It's the same with me, actually. So I'm gonna definitely sign up for it and go every other week. That's a JB Whiskey's open mic night, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time in Michigan. But that's gonna be a spot where I'm definitely gonna try to show up as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure. And then you have that one in Ohio coming up too, right? Is that another 5-minute spot, or is it
Another 5-minute spot?
Yeah.
What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
look around in Jersey too, because I know there's comedy clubs opening up out there because they just lifted some restrictions. So I don't know how it's going to be for getting time, but I talked to old girl about it, and she said she's going to look into just getting you a spot on one of the open mic nights, because that other club, I guess they're not doing anything.
Yeah. I call her my manager, and she said, well, what does that entail? And I was like, I'm just going to keep calling you my manager, and maybe one day I'll send you some money. And she was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't do any other managerial duties. I just think it's funny to call her my manager.
It is funny.
But if you're a real manager, I will fire her ass right now.
Right the fuck now.
I would fire, if her contract was Madonna licking up milk out of a bowl, I would fuck her on her parents' table while they were having dinner in relation to firing Chris. If that's what it took, I would do it immediately. But yeah, long day, good day. The good news was I was balls tired, and I'm helping a buddy put up a fence on Friday. And I mean, we're running power tools. We're in power augers. It's gonna be fucking sick.
Oh, yeah, that's better than a fucking postal digger. That's for goddamn sure.
If he would have said, "Hey, man, we're gonna be postal digging," I'm gonna be like, "You'll be postal digging, dog." I'll be sitting with your wife in a hammock with some iced tea.
I'll be sitting next to the cooler until those holes are dug, and I'll help you set posts.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bring the level. But so we gotta pick up. He's like, hey, can we pick it up today? And I said the only time I could do it was 5. So there was a short window where I would have had to unload like 32 4x8, 4x4s, like 30, 45.
That's a big fence going up, huh?
Big fence.
Yeah.
But the good news is their order wasn't ready, and he's very understanding, and he knew that I had an open mic session. So he's like, we can just do that shit Friday. So Friday is going to be today's training of lack of sleep is definitely going to be Friday for me. And I'll be using fucking power tools, man.
Nice. Yeah, the power auger's a play, dude. If I did fences for a living, I'd already have one, but I think I've done maybe 5 fences the whole time the last like 3 years. And it's good money, because I mean, normally you charge, I don't know what it is, $10 a foot, somewhere around there, 10 to 17 bucks a foot. So it's like decent money for the work. But
I will say the same opener that I used, because I wanted to see if it worked at a different crowd, I think I'm just going to scrap that. Doesn't really get that many laughs saying the thing about my status,
Mm-hmm. Like, it gets a little bit. I think you could come up with a better opener.
Definitely. I mean, so Ohio.
I think it got more laughs the first time you did it, but I think you said it differently. I'd have to go back on the footage, because I think it rolled a little more naturally the first time.
It's not a problem. I was watching the host go, and he's like, "Hey, I'm an Army vet of 6 years, and thank me for." He was like, and he was like, "You don't gotta thank me," and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" And so I was just like, in my head, I was like scratching off my jokes. What was really funny is somebody there told a joke about his ex being his ex-girlfriend is now a lesbian, and I had friends look at me, and I was like, and like I pretended like anyways, nothing wrong with that.
Crossing shit off.
Yeah, no, it was really funny. Nothing wrong with that. I don't care.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No, that's your lifestyle. But yeah, it was in my head. I was like,
that's Seinfeld throwback.
Yeah, dude, pretty funny. But yeah, we played lots of 2K. I mean, I'll probably have a few drinky poos tonight, maybe slower than what I had last night.
I'm staying off the liquor tonight. I don't have any left anyways, other than well, I mean, I have liquor left, but I don't have any more beers or Truly.
We can just ease the brakes then, take a little gentle day off.
Yeah, I'm just chilling tonight.
For sure. But So we talked about the open mic night. I had a great time. Definitely gonna. Dayton, Ohio is April 25th.
Mhm.
Starts, I believe, at 8:00. I'll post the time.
Probably somewhere around there.
It's in Dayton, Ohio, at Wiley's Comedy Club, which is the oldest comedy club in Ohio, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Nice.
So get your tickets now. So if you live near Ohio, that's where I'll be. So I think I'm gonna still kind of take that good joke, start with that, and then use the remaining 2.5 minutes on new material.
Okay.
Because I want.
Yeah, I definitely got one for you, and I think you'll like it.
Sick, dude. Sick. So last night, also because I was telling you, yeah, if I have stand up, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go anyways, just to talk to the guys. And then I was like, I got to shoot a podcast after, and Cuts like graciously, he was like, I'm down, because we had some new sports questions.
Oh yeah, I lost my. I wrote them down on a piece of paper and I lost it, but I remember 2 of them.
Okay.
I mean the one. I mean it was the one that I put in the group chat, and it was who do you think would win in a 1v1, your mind and LeBron's body, or LeBron's mind and your body. So basically, you would get LeBron's build and his athletic abilities, but he would retain his hand-eye coordination and ball skills in your body. So like, do you think you'd be able to beat LeBron in your body?
Yeah, wasn't it LeBron? You get LeBron's body and your basketball skills versus your body and LeBron's basketball skills.
Yeah, so you guys would switch minds. This is what it was. You'd switch minds and ball skills.
Yeah,
but like everything else, like, so you would have his leaping ability, you'd have his stamina, you'd have his speed, you'd have his height, you'd have his weight, and then he would have all of yours of that.
So if you, I mean, even with me, I mean, it's an easy answer. LeBron James, physical specimen, he's a 10. Okay, I know. I talk a lot of shit about him, just because
he's off the scales for physical wise. Like it's
crazy. Play 1 through 5. Realistically,
he can play all the positions.
Play defense. I mean, like his defense, you can. But if he
his defense is very okay. I'd give his defense probably like in, I don't know.
But if you
8.2 out of 10.
But the good thing about it is you can match him up almost against anybody.
You can, yeah, you can match it. He's not going to shut down everybody in the league, but he'll play good defense.
He can switch with you on a big man.
He's not like Kawhi. I'd give Kawhi's defense an easy 10.
The Claw's the best defender. I don't know what Green's talking about. He's a good defender himself.
I think Draymond is a better defender than LeBron is, for sure.
Yeah, but I think Kawhi is a better defender than Green.
Draymond. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think Kawhi is the best two-way player in the league.
Yeah, that's very fair. I can't even list more examples right now off the top of my head.
I mean, you could go. I mean, there's big men like Giannis would have to be up there. But, yeah. I mean, it's not because he's so great at defense. He's just a big fucking guy that's quick, I mean, so like same thing with like AD, same thing with Joel Embiid. Like they're just like bigger people, but Kawhi's defensive skills. Yeah, they're great defenders, but most of their defensive prowess comes from their size.
And I know Anthony Davis has hit game winners, but Kawhi is a clutch shooter at times. Like we saw it in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, he's done it multiple times. He did it when he was in San Antonio. He did it in Toronto. He's
cold as ice, man.
He hit a game-winning shot as time expired in New Balances,
fading away.
That's fucking
into
impressive.
The crowd on the corner.
New Balances, bro.
I mean, Dad should.
I love those memes about it too. It was like when you got to hit a game winner in Game 7 and then mow your lawn afterwards, and it was him wearing like the white New Balances.
Almost, if they were Nikes, they'd be the Nike Monarchs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Dad shoes of the year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the original point, his physical specimen is a 10 for the way he's built.
Mm-hmm.
His speed, his jumping ability. With if you had to rate LeBron James's skill set, it's probably a 9.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Even if somebody had a 2 for basketball abilities, when you switch bodies, it doesn't like if you're 5'6" and you're great at basketball, but you've got LeBron James's vert and LeBron James's build. There's no way. Like we said, you might get one lucky shot at that height, But as soon as LeBron James gets the ball, he will physically dominate you. all the way.
If it's winner takes, you're not getting the ball back.
Yeah, easy. I mean, for me, I'm fairly decent at pickup basketball. But
I think that question's easy for everybody. I mean, I asked my little brother that question, and he's not a basketball player at all, and he's like, I think I could take LeBron if we just switched athletic abilities, like not hand-eye coordination. Yeah, just minds. You just switch minds. He keeps all of his basketball knowledge and his hand-eye coordination and ball skills and that kind of stuff. But
we were pissing in the same fountain, and then we woke up the next day, and I was in LeBron James's body, and he was, dude, someone should write that movie. Scrap Toon Squad looks like trash, and just write that one.
Did you see the one? It was all over the meme pages. There's like, oh, they need to do a third one, but it's football, and Tom Brady's got to play to get his rings back.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a funny one. The comments on it are hilarious too, because everyone hates Brady. So they're like, oh, and at the end of the movie he loses and we all forget Tom Brady existed. Hell yeah. it's just funny to read the comments. There's so much hate.
he's funny too, because I sent you the thing that he did at Disney World where Kylo Ren had come to the dark side, and he's like, nah, I'm already on a pretty good team. And I was like, man, that's
he had the one tweet that was funny because he one of the people there told his kid that he could be a Jedi, and he's like, well, for one, I had to try to explain to my kid that a Jedi is not an actual occupation, and two, I have to convince him that the dark side's not the side to be on.
I'm glad he knows the Star Wars. That makes me happy, but I mean, the best to ever do it. You can
best quarterback to ever play the game. He's got all the accolades. He's got everything. I had that argument with my uncle too, because I was talking to him about it, and he brought up the thing how Super Bowls are a team effort, and the GOAT shouldn't be, just held to that thing. And I was like, okay, dude. So Joe Montana was the GOAT all up until Brady hit his 4th, 5th ring. And when Montana retired, he didn't hold a single passing record. Not a single one of them. Dan Marino had all of them.
Oh yeah, he was tearing up the league. Time frame.
But not a single ring. So why was Dan Marino not considered the GOAT, but Montana was?
Because
it's all about the rings.
They used to slam the ring defense. Hey, Joe Montana's got them all. How many? Dan Marino 0. You can have, and that's the thing. That used to be like the shutdown argument. And now the argument is, well, rings aren't everything.
Yeah, as soon as Brady hit that 4th, 5th ring, they're like, oh, that's a team accolade. It's like, okay, motherfucker.
Oh, rings aren't everything?
You don't get to just change your argument now that Brady's got the ring record. But even then, Brady, fucking Breeze retired. Brady, it's wide open for Brady. He can put those records out there. He's got at least one season at a minimum to throw him the fuck out there as far as he wants.
Right.
And he's gonna. I think by the time Brady retires, I mean, obviously he's gonna hold almost every single stat record, like other than like maybe QBR and like maybe touchdown to interception ratio. He probably won't have, but like all the other ones, like most completions, most yards, most touchdowns, most wins, like he's gonna have all of them.
Right. I mean, even if Aaron Rodgers has another MVP season, which it's highly possible that he doesn't, it's still going to take him at minimum 3 seasons to hit 500 touchdowns.
Yeah, and Brady's at what, 7 something?
Yeah. So I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers is
he'd have to blow up. He'd have to blow up for the next
50
5
touchdowns
years
for the next 4 seasons.
Yeah, to get anywhere near it.
Yeah, and even if he gets 50 touchdowns the next 4 seasons, that'd still only put him at 600.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bananas. LOL.
Yeah.
But
isn't that bananas?
Isn't that bananas? No, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a very great quarterback. I love him to death.
He is. I think he's it's going to be a shitty comparison, but I honestly think he's the LeBron James of the league, like as far as like athletic talent goes. Like he's never going to be, I mean, some people are going to say he's the GOAT, but like he had all the, I guess LeBron's not a good correlation for that, but I think he is one of the most talented players.
If he had 3 rings, the argument would be, I know Brady would still have 7, but let's say
the argument would be a little closer, and he'd definitely be in everybody's top 5,
because
like no questions asked, he'd be in everybody's top 5.
Yeah, definitely. That's the only thing. And then if you haven't seen it and you watch Jeopardy, Aaron Rodgers has been hosting Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, he's killing it.
people are making jokes like some contestant didn't know the final question, so for
Mhm.
0 points he wrote who wanted to kick the field goal, and Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, he
Hmm.
handled it perfectly, chuckled, uh, played it off
Laugh,
very
gave a
well.
snarky comment
Yeah,
back, and then
yeah, not
kept it
too snarky
rolling.
either. Yeah, and then
Yeah, no, not too snarky. He's like, yeah, that should be the right answer, but it's
yeah, but it's not. But it's not. But my brother said, "Wow, he's really actually great at hosting Jeopardy. I hope he retires and does this permanently."
Me too.
Haha. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, if you don't know, we have an open bet. Who retires first, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? Of
We made this
course,
bet like 3 or 4 years ago too. Like it was a while
I
ago.
think we made this bet in Qatar.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was like right around the same time frame. Like right when we
Yeah.
started like clicking again, like
Hmm.
that's when we like one night we were like, bah, no way.
Yeah, I think I just randomly said it too. I was like, "There's a chance that Brady outplays Aaron Rodgers," and you're like, "No way." And I was like, "I'll bet on it."
yeah. Because I'm like, I looked up the ages and I'm like, no way. Like I knew Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers' age, but I was like,
It's
wait, how?
getting close, dude. It's getting down to the wire.
And Brady still, I mean, like, who's that
Brady's still
quarterback for the
slinging that sauce.
who's that quarterback for the Raiders?
Derek Carr.
No, the older one. Like they showed the comparison with him and Brady.
Oh, shit. I can see his face. I know who you're talking about, but he looked like he was 90 years old.
Yeah. The comparison at ages.
Yeah,
Tom Brady is reverse Benjamin Button at this point.
he is. He's faster than he was at his combine. I think that's probably the most impressive thing that I've ever seen is Tom Brady at 42 years old beat his combine 40-yard dash time.
That avocado ice.
Fucking impressive. That's crazy. 20 years later, and he's faster.
That's that avocado ice.
I mean, it wasn't by much, but still, to get anywhere close to it.
I wonder
Like
if
it said towards the end of his career that Peyton ran a 6.2.
wow, I can believe it though.
Yeah, no, that's I laugh, but like that's super believable.
I mean, like that's like walking speed.
Yeah, damn near.
Yeah,
I remember my freshman year of high school, I ran a 5.3, and that was I was wearing like etnies, like I was in like some skating shoes.
I remember the first 40 I ran. That was the same summer that I went from 5'8" to 6'1.5". So I didn't have
Great Dane. You just goofy,
big old
Gumby
around.
style. Just
went from size 10. Like my dad, I remember he bought me a pair of these sick ass Nike Air Michigan editions. So they're like,
oh, nice.
And I put my feet in them. And I was like, Dad, they were sick shoes, man. And I didn't want to give them up, but I was like, Dad, I can't wear these shoes. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I can't put my feet in them. And he's like, let me see. And he's like, what the heck? And then I go to the store and they're like, yeah, he wears 13s now. And my dad's like, look at this motherfucker with his clown feet, you know, like, so
seems like a Brad joke.
Yeah. So I got big old floppy feet and gangly arms. And I'm just a slender man looking gross ginger with pale skin and
looking like a newborn giraffe out there running.
Dude, I probably ran a 5'4", or 5'5". It was slow. It was like
5'3" was my first time I ran freshman year, and that was I wasn't even a freshman yet. That was summer camp going into freshman year.
People are like, dude, you're probably not even. I was all state at track. I was on an all state team. Okay, I don't even want to.
I hated track. I hated running in general.
Oh,
I was never a fan.
I'll tell you why I did track. You got out of school early.
Mm-hmm. That's why I played volleyball.
And all my friends played track.
Oh, okay. I didn't have any buddies on the track team. There were a couple of dudes on the football team that played, but
I had one or two people that I liked on the baseball team, but I didn't really hang out with anybody. But everybody would be like,
I hated the baseball team.
Yeah, and so like it, like especially like Stockbridge, like this big one. It's like this is the event before like states and regionals. Like this is where everybody comes and you see who you're going to get matched up against districts. Well, not even districts. Who you're going to match up against regionals and who you're going to match up against if you make it to state. Yeah. So these times at this state event, that's like got like every official that you need, and it's a really big event in Michigan. It's one of the it'd be like 12:45, 1 o'clock. Track team, get on the bus. You're leaving because most track events are on a Saturday, where you're starting at 9 o'clock in the morning and you're getting done at 4, something like that. This was an after school one that started at like 2, 3 o'clock. And got over like the last 4x4 race, which was one of Earl's races that he would win. So it was underneath the lights. So like everything's dark, the lights are bright, and you're running around. It's the last event of the night because track in Michigan alternates. This is how it was. I'm pretty sure it's still the same way unless it's gotten smaller, but every other year would alternate who went first. So girls would go first and then boys would go second. Smaller events, sometimes like the girls would start first and then the boys would start a half mile, like a half lap into it. But for like, okay, this is the 400 all girls, then this is the 400 all boys. So that was the last race of the night period. So, I mean, it's super hype for running. But yeah, I used to run a 5-minute mile. Crazy. I don't think I'll ever do it again.
I did. Yeah, that was the fastest mile I ever did. It was my sophomore year. And the only reason my thought process was like the faster you get it done, the less time you're going to be running.
Yes.
So like I literally sprinted the entire thing and I was dead by the end of it. Like you could see my heart beat through my fucking PE shirt.
Yeah.
And I ran a 5:15 mile. Never came anywhere close to that again. I never ran a sub 6-minute mile after that.
Right.
Even in basic, I wouldn't do. I don't know. Maybe we never really timed the mile in basic. I think I ran a 9:30 mile and a half.
Yeah.
In basic. So that's probably around a 6:30 mile.
In San Antonio, because I mean, all you do in basic is run, push-ups, and sit-ups, and that's yay. We get to go outside and run. Like we're not stuck folding fucking socks. You actually enjoyed the fresh air.
I actually enjoyed the I didn't like test days, but I did enjoy going outside at 4:30 in the morning or whatever it was, 4:45 in the morning, and just doing they'd have you do like the laps or whatever, and you basically just do laps for like 40 minutes.
Well, I was lucky enough to go through in the winter, so PT was until the afternoon.
Oh yeah, ours were in the morning. So I left in April. April 23rd was my day.
Yeah, I was there that same year, but the winter, November.
Yeah.
And then like you had the colored belt system, blue belts.
Yeah, I was a blue belt off the rip, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, and then but it was so much. You would just run for 20 minutes, and then they sometimes had you do like sprints afterwards. But just getting outside.
We never even did sprints. We did like the initial like warm ups. You know how you just do like your stretches or whatever, and then everyone would line up and they just start running you and screaming at you to go faster. And I never really tried my hardest in those. I would just jog them out. I figured as long as I was, running ahead of the yellow belts, then I'd be in a good spot.
Yeah, like for us, they would have us just run for 20 minutes, and if you were slacking, they would yell at you. And then once that 20 minutes,
they yelled at everybody where I was at. I was in one of the squadrons. It was one of the, I guess, spec ops squadrons where they had all the EOD guys and PJs and shit that were coming through. So we got yelled at with all those guys. But my flight, we had like 5 kids that were spec ops, and they ended up switching flights after like the first 4 weeks, so they could do some weird shit.
Go to the pool, probably.
Probably, yeah. I never set foot in that pool.
But then the 20 minutes would end up, and they would use like a Wessel. God, I can't talk. A good thing I wasn't talking like this on stage. But they would blow their whistle every 30 seconds roughly. So like 30 seconds hard sprints, 30 seconds jog, and that's how we would end up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We had our commander of our basic squadron. He was a athletic beast. Our last test day that we did, he ended up running the 1.5 miles backwards, and he got a 9:12.
God.
Running it backwards.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, so he beat a lot of motherfuckers backwards. And it was wildly fucking impressive.
Yeah.
And then there was one, I think we only had like 5 kids beat him out of we had like 3 flights that were testing that day. They'd have you put on the little anklet thing that like checks your time or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think we only had like 5 kids beat him, and one of them got he almost hit the 8-minute mark. It was crazy. He ran like an 8:05 or something like that. I was like, God damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. The thing I like about one of the only things I liked about tech school was the track that was specifically 1.5 miles long.
Oh yeah, that one was cool.
So you just ran it, and then once you did one single lap, you were done. But the funniest thing is, I always remember this when you first, you've been homies with what is 40 some people, 50, 60.
Yeah, depending on where you're at.
Yeah. So you've been homies with people. You've only been talking to 40 people for 8 weeks. Then you maybe a couple of your boys, maybe 5, someone you hate, they go to a bigger flight of 80, 90, 100. And you just meet all these brand new people, Well, there's only like 3 people that I knew originally from basic, and we're about to run around the track, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna time you guys." And I was like, "Hey, I really want to pace with somebody who runs about a 9-minute mile and a half." And people are like, "Who the fuck is this fat piece of shit?" And then I never, and I will claim this to fame, I never lost a race in tech school.
Nice.
I would run so much because I love that. I would wake up on Saturdays before I went partied because Saturdays were for parties, off
Yeah.
days. I would wake up and run at least 2 laps before I went out because I didn't want anybody to get the edge on me. The very last race, one of the guys who was really, really in good shape came really close, really close. But it was kind of one of those things to where Earl kind of taught it to me. Earl knows he can beat somebody. And so how he beats you is he just runs your pace and then he just burns you when he needs to. So so I basically did that to him. But all in all, I mean, when you enjoy running out of basic, basic sucks.
Yeah, that I still hated it, but I would much rather run in the mornings like that than have to do than like clean or march
Yeah.
or like
Oh,
all
we
the other
couldn't-
stupid fucking activities that have you do or study that stupid little fucking handbook.
Yeah, dude. You got to take that to your next base because it's so important. Never uses it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what is funny about that though is those questions are what's on the promotion exams, like the
Ridiculous.
information that's in those books, which I think is crazy
Yeah. Like, I mean, the
because
whole.
it's like Air Force history, which doesn't make that's like a whole nother issue with the Air Force. Like, why the fuck do you need to know Air Force history? Like, that's not going to make you a good staff sergeant or a
Yeah.
tech. Like,
Hey, sir, can you help me out with this paperwork? No, I don't got time for that. I don't know how to do it, but I can tell you that the Battle of 1942 ended in General blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah, like
hey, can
that
you help me?
doesn't
Yeah, it's
that
stupid.
doesn't help anybody.
What is
That's a
this? Air
stupid
Force
fucking
Air Force Jeopardy?
yeah. Like, unless you're
Maybe
going
we
to be
should
like an
stick
Air
to
Force historian, like that's
maybe we
none
should
of that
stick to the
information is going to
job
help you.
knowledge
Yeah,
of your job instead of knowing what the name of fucking some. I mean, yeah, it is history, but that doesn't make, like you said, it doesn't make you a good supervisor.
no, not at all.
Redundant. Big loop. Do you have the second question on hand about sports?
Oh yeah, so this one I think I sent it to you and Pepper before. It was so you're golfing in the Masters
Okay.
and everyone else is in the clubhouse, everyone else is done, and you have a lead and you're on the 16th tee box. How big of a lead do you need to win the Masters?
We talking finishing. Okay, let me look up 18 hole like Masters scorecard.
So yeah, if you have three, you're on the 16th. So you have 3 holes left to play.
All right, so I'm looking up the Masters scorecard. So this was Roy McIlroy's full signature Augusta. Okay, so let's look at these last 3 holes. If you're okay, so yeah, it is. It's a par 3, a par 4, and a par 4. So you're looking at 11 shots for par. Especially as tough as the course is Masters, like typically if you were to give me, if you're like, hey, I'm going to give you $100, how many strokes do you think it would take you to get the ball in the hole? Could you do it in 6 or less? I would bet that. If you were to say, I will bet you on a par 4 within 6 shots, $100 that you can't get this in the hole. That's a bet I'm willing to challenge.
Well, and see, that's another thing too, is you'd be playing, pro tees.
Yeah.
So how deep's that par 4? Because you're definitely that's not a drivable green.
Not even pro tees. You're also playing pro greens. You're playing
pro greens, and you got a shit ton of people watching you.
Yeah. So
there's cameras everywhere. There's people lining the fucking tee box.
So how far back is? How many strokes do you need to keep the lead? So like I said, 6 shots.
How much of a lead do you need to have on the 16th tee box
on
to
the
win
par,
the Masters?
On the par 3, I'm going to say 7 shots. On both the par 4s, I'm going to say 8 shots. So I'm probably,
so you need a 12 stroke lead to
25 stroke lead. No, 12. So if you minus par, so 3, 4, and 4 is 11. So 11 minus.
You said 4 per.
11 minus 25. 14. I would need a 14 stroke lead.
14 stroke lead.
Because
my initial thought process was 16. So I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that par 3 can turn into a 6 real fucking easy.
I'm talking about a quadruple bogey on the last 4 holes.
Yeah, like I was thinking about it, man, and I was like, dude, I could get a 6 on that par 3 so easy. Like I see myself hitting the green in 2, but I could see myself 4-putting that motherfucker, man.
I could see myself getting close to the green in 2. And then
Well, see, that's
bratting
another
it.
thing too, is how deep is that par 3? Because that could be a 220-yard
And
par
then
3, and
if my face is the green, we're going over here. Then we're going over here.
yeah, you pull the old
Pull the old
Brad.
Brad. Yeah. Yeah.
He did it one time, and we roast him now.
I brought that up. I was like, hey, because he shot a par on that hole, same hole.
Oh, nice.
And I said, hey, you want to know something funny? And he's like, what? And I was like, the very first time that cut went golfed, he went over and over. And he was like giving that like old man grumble. And I was like, and he's like, I don't see you cutting it heat now, no more. And I was just like, oh man, you butthurt over there, Dad, or what, man? I beat him
there's
today,
a couple of
though.
Brads on the golf course, man, fluffing up your lie, hitting over the green, bunker to. I think he went bunker to bunker, didn't he?
Bunker to bunker, yeah.
Yeah.
Today,
that was the funniest thing, because I didn't even see him swing his second shot. I watched him do the first one, and then I just didn't look out of like respect, because that's kind of like, it's tough when you do that and everyone's watching. So I just looked away, and I was looking at my ball and my lie, and then I looked up over at him, and he was just shaking his head, walking around the green, and I was like, "What happened?" And he goes, "I hit it in the bunker again."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
That was funny. It's always a good time golfing with your dad.
Yeah, he's my weekly golfing partner. He after the 4th, he's like, "You've shot in 4 fours," and I was like, but I was like, man, it's crazy. And I was only up by 4 strokes at the time. But I was like, you're just trying to get in my head, which, the lead at one point got down to 3, but it never got past 3.
Nice.
But I had a great day on the links always, but yeah, it would definitely take me 14 strokes because, okay, let's say luckily
I'm taking an extra 2 there. It's going to take me at least 16, because especially all those people around, dude, and then you don't know, you might shank one of your drives real bad, or let's say you go out of bounds on one of them. That's an extra. I'm just assuming I'm gonna get 2 balls out of bounds.
Yeah, but for instance, so the Masters score. The reason why I say this is because the par 3, which is hole 16, is 100.
We should tonight when we play, we should try and see if we can find an Augusta.
Fake Augusta
on 2K. Yeah,
it says.
I know there was one on the last one, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
It says it's Masters tees. It says it's 170 from the hole. So
for the par 3.
For the par 3,
I could hit that in 1. I could probably hit a nice.
If I got lucky, I hit it in 1. But if
obviously,
that pressure,
I'm capable. I am capable of doing 3. It. I'm probably gonna hit the green in 2, realistically, unless I just completely fuck up my first hit.
Yeah, that's why if I fuck up my first hit and then underhit my second hit, I'm definitely getting on the green in 3 hits, and then hopefully I'll be able to 3-putt it in for a triple bogey.
Yeah,
if not a 7. So there's 7. The hole 17 is 425 yards. So
I'll be on the green in 3, hopefully.
I'll be on the green probably in 4, if not 5, and again a 3-putt.
Yeah.
The last one's 405. Maybe I get lucky, but probably on the green in 4 again and 3-putt. So 14. One day if we're famous, we'll never be able to hit it because it's not open to the public unless we know.
No, and it costs a shit ton of money to be a member there. They actually do. I did find out they do raffles to let people play on.
Hit it.
He hit Augusta
with his dad. I'm like 97% positive.
That's crazy. I did hear a story about Jake Owen. He was on that Barstool Golf podcast, and he talked about how he got an invite to go out there and bring 3 of his buddies. And he tried to get his dad to go with him, but his dad turned it down because he was like, not his dad, his grandpa. And he's like, I'll just end up slowing you guys down. His grandpa is a fucking 9 handicap, and he's like 85 years old.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's fucking impressive. I guess Jake Owen's no slouch either. I watched that video of him and the other 3 country stars play against them. They ended up losing on 16, but
was he playing in cowboy boots?
No, but they had what's his name? Morgan Wallen was playing in a fucking cutoff. I
Hilarious.
thought that was funny. And it's some golf club out there. Darius Rucker is a member, but it's literally a bunch of country stars are like members there. They just
Wow.
fucking play it all the time, and they don't have to wear shoes. They don't have to wear collars. They don't have to wear fucking anything if they don't
Giving
want
it the
to.
old John Daly.
Yep, exactly.
What is it? Shit, I just had it and I lost it. It was about golf. Now I can't.
Oh,
remember.
this one will lead into it. It'll be another question. I think it was an old one. I don't know if we said it on the podcast though. I think we just talked about it with friends. But so if you were given the opportunity, would you rather play a round of golf with 3 of your buddies, so a foursome at Augusta, or would you rather play 18 holes with your favorite golfer, anybody? And we'll just say you get to play at Pebble Beach.
18 holes with not with my friends. Sorry. I mean,
don't get me wrong. Like I think
I love you. I love my friends,
fun.
But I would if they were like, wow, what a fucking shitty choice. I'd be like, look, I'm gonna pay for you guys to play a really nice course because I feel bad, but that's a once in a chance lifetime.
Oh yeah, no, like there's no getting that back. Like, I mean, obviously for me, I'm thinking about it, like it'd have to be, you got to play with Tiger, right? Like
I mean, for me, if you got to pick 3, I know.
Well, no, it's just one, so it'd be a twosome. Yeah, it'd be a twosome.
Yeah, probably top 3 if you could pick a twosome for me. Let's go top 5. If I could golf with any golfer right now, number 1 would be Tiger because he's the best. Number 2,
Tiger.
Number 2, I mean,
your number 2 is probably Phil, huh?
Phil. And number 3 is John Daly.
Yeah.
Number 4 is probably I'm gonna have to say Ricky Fowler. I'm a big fan of Ricky Fowler.
Everyone loves Ricky.
He's around my age, but way better at golf. Missed the Masters Cut first event, missed it I think 46 times in a row. Being on a PGA Tour event like that.
He's been playing like shit lately.
He finished -5 last week, but.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I mean, people were kind of criticizing him, saying he should shoot less commercials.
I listened to a podcast and they were talking about him. They're like, man, you got to leave that Ricky shit behind. Like, he's still wearing like all orange Puma. They're like, he needs to like separate himself from the young Ricky Fowler and maybe go with like an all gray Puma get up and start calling himself Rick. Rick Fowler. And the guy was like, damn, that's fucking sexy. Rick Fowler. Right?
Yeah.
He can make the transition. He's still pretty young though. Like I think once he hits his mid-30s, I think he should make that transition. I don't think it'd just be weird to call a 40-year-old man Ricky.
For sure. I mean old Ricky.
Rick Fowler though, that just sounds like a silver fox. Like that sounds
grows a silver. And then number 5 is probably a tie between I'm a lefty, so Bubba Watson and tied would be Bryson DeChambeau.
DeChambeau would be a fun one.
I just want there's a video today of Vijay Singh, I believe it was. So basically, DeChambeau was hitting rockets on the driving range, but he was hitting them at a fast pace. I'm talking like drive, ball, drop, drive.
I saw that fucking clip, dude. And it was like, when you show up a little late for your. It was when you show up late for your tee time, you only have 10 minutes to warm up, and he's just fucking crushing balls.
And VJ's just. And something funny about that, I remember what I forgot. There was a report. This is kind of if you could put a meme right here, it'd be the Michael Jordan and I take that shit personally meme. The Masters were mad about how Bryson was just driving the shit out of the ball and making their course look short last year. So there's reports of making it more difficult for Bryson to do the things that he did last year. And then I was like, man, them grounds.
I mean, it's not like he fucking won. Didn't he miss the cut day 3 anyways?
Man, COVID, that's such a long time ago. I don't know, man. That whole era is a blur.
I'm pretty sure he missed the cut on Sunday anyways. Like,
well, if you make the cut on Saturday, you go to Sunday automatically.
Well, yeah, but he was like out of contention. Like there was no way unless he like holed out every single fucking pin.
Yeah, but no Tiger this year, which is sad.
It is sad. It is sad. Hopefully he comes back next year.
Next Masters with a Tiger, we got to throw in some money. We blew it one year.
I'm down. Man. Oh, we blew it, huh?
I blew it.
You and Pepper are both pussies.
You can blame this house, okay?
Yeah, I will.
There's no hose in this house.
What was the other one? I had one more that was a decent one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to remember it in time though.
It's no biggie. I mean,
Um, we do have to plan a bros golf trip though, and I think we should make it like an annual thing. Like maybe not somewhere like Pebble. Like maybe we
every
pick
time, but the
somewhere.
first one we crescent it, and then because the one guy does it at work, and they've hit 20 consecutive years at the same course with him and his buddies.
I think that would be cool to find a course like that. It would be, we have to find somewhere that's like kind of in the middle, like maybe a course in Colorado, or like I think a course in Arizona, like where the one that they do that Waste Management Open at. I don't know if that's a public course or not, but that would be sick to do that there
I'll tell you
because it's
about
gonna be
Colorado.
cheaper. It's gonna be cheaper than Pebble.
Hitting golf in Colorado Springs, dude. You hit fucking bombs, bro.
Oh yeah, dude, the thin air out there.
Dude, you hit fucking
Maybe
bombs.
Colorado's the spot then. We're gonna have to
just hitting
look at some
bombs.
spots.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Make it like a whole, make it like a weekend thing, and we can play 18 every day.
He's got it down pat to where they call the place. They even, since it was their 20th anniversary, they upped him. They upgraded his room.
Oh, nice.
Because they stay there. The course has like condos or something or whatever, and they always stay at the same thing.
Yeah. Most nice courses, they either have like a hotel or some type of like Airbnb style housing around the course.
Like 36 holes.
Yeah, I think that's too much. I'd end up being spent by the end of that. But
I'd like to shoot 18 and the bend is at lunchtime. So 18, you hit the bend, you hit the cart girl that gets a hot dog or something.
Yeah, or like you hit the clubhouse or something, grab a quick little fucking sandwich, and then right back out on the back nine.
Yeah,
like, I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then
when we golfed at Peppers,
score.
When we golfed at Club Peppers and we went out to eat, had lunch, and then hit the back nine,
that was
a great
fucking
day.
clutch. Yeah, that was clutch.
That's the way you should do golf. Fuck 18.
I definitely, I want to do that again too. We're gonna have to set something up with Pepper to go back out there and do it.
I mean, he's probably not going to be in the. I mean, if you want to go hit that course again, yeah. But once, I mean, it might be several years before they're back. So.
Oh, he's not taking leave to go back home anytime soon.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about leave. Yeah. I mean, but you know, it's
I mean, that's what it was last time. He wasn't
very
stationed.
Far away. Yeah, but for sure, definitely.
But I do think a bros trip, like me, you, Pepper, Garv, if he's about it, like I think that'd be fun to go out somewhere and
foursome.
Yeah, that'd be fun to go out somewhere, and even if it's just like some random course, like I want it to be like a nice course. Like I'm down to pay like $100 for green fees somewhere if it's like a decent enough course.
Right.
But I think that would be a lot of fun. Go out there, get some carts, fucking play 18 holes every day for a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday we wake up, pack up, and fucking get the hell out.
Right. Yeah.
I think that'd be a good time.
For sure. Well, hey man, I mean, we could keep talking, but I like to keep it around the hour format.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Until we get more listeners and you get Joe Rogan numbers. But let's call it so we can play some video games tonight.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to edit this usual time, probably like another 20 minutes, 30 at most.
No big deal. I'll probably pop on 2K, play a little bit.
For sure. So once the processing starts, I can hop on and then take a little breaky poo. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, I did have a great time doing comedy. Got to thank my friends like Cud and Pepper and Gray Bars and Miller for watching, giving me feedback. Love that shit. Dayton, Ohio, April 25th, 2021. I'll be there. Open mic night. I'm not sure at the cover, but I mean, come see your boy. If you see me, if you're one of my viewers and you live in Ohio and you come see me, I will buy you a fucking beer. Okay. But yeah, that's it. Anything else you got?
No. Congrats on your first 5 minutes in a year and a half, however long it's been.
So nerve-wracking. But yeah, definitely, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on. It's always a good time.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful time. That's from American Dad, if you've ever watched it. Fuzzy Door Productions. Is that it? I don't know. But everybody have a great time. Signing out. Have a good one.